Why do I feel guilty about my gayness? Need advice. Today me and my mother were talking about life, which ended up in a conversation. Well, she guessed correctly about the fact. I was interested in a friend of mine who is the same gender as me. She isn't against LGBT. People, she's queer herself, I believe, and was just pretty nonchalant and chill about the whole thing. Was even making some light-hearted, funny comments and didn't at all seem upset, but for some reason I couldn't help but feel guilty about it. I guess. This conversation made me realize that's something I feel basically every time my queerness gets brought up in conversation. Specifically to close family members, most who aren't even homophobic as this normal. Has anyone else felt this way? If so, why? Oh, I absolutely felt this way for a while. My close family members were supportive, but I felt guilty because of societal messaging. There weren't many positive examples of gay people, or queer life for me to aspire towards. And while my family supported my identity, I wouldn't say my circumstances actively encouraged me to come out and embrace who I was either. I also joked that I was raised Catholic, so I'm predisposed to feel guilty about objectively silly things. Is your family religious? Not that it means that they're homophobic, but were you raised in a home where the idea of heaven and hell were talked about? That kind of thing makes people feel shame for everything. Questioning my sexuality as a lesbian. I've identified as a lesbian openly for 6 years, but I've been attracted to women for basically ever. Recently, I've found myself feeling sexually attracted to a man. I'm shocked I used to identify as bisexual, but realized I was fully attracted to women. It feels so crazy to be questioning my sexuality again. If I later feel like I'm bisexual, it doesn't bother me. But it would be a lie if I said I was a little worried about it. The faulty know everyone should live their truth, but I feel like I won't be welcome into my lesbian spaces I've created or joined, or that people will view me different. If I were to come out as bisexual after being so openly lesbian, I don't really feel like I am bisexual, and that this male attraction is a fluke or something. But what if I'm just projecting what will make my life easier? I feel so confused about this. You could be attracted to him romantically, sexually, or even just think he's pretty. I am a full-time lesbian, haha, and I can recognize when someone is handsome. But I cannot imagine myself having a relationship of any sort with a male. I had a science professor who said all humans are inherently bisexual and that changes based on experiences. The way she explained it felt legit. My best friend is experiencing what you went through as well, on top of being Rose, I think. Everyone should remember sexuality is fluid, and you are valid. What am I? Need advice. Majority of my life I have been bisexual. It was just the easiest to tell people and most understood yet. I had more time to explore and find myself when I came out as bi. I was 13, now that I'm close to 20. I feel like it doesn't fit me as good anymore, and now I am somewhat confused. I don't have much romantic or sexual attraction to someone, but I still like having a designated person to call my partner. I still have sexual feelings, but not really towards people. But I still have attraction? It's like I always think logically with little emotion. But I still feel emotionally attached to them and want to enjoy moments with them. I can fill the part of a relationship and make my partner feel appreciated. I do have intimate moments. I also have some sexual intimate moments too, but it's not like I'm sexually attracted to them. I do have a gender preference, but I still become somewhat attracted to any. I say somewhat because, again, not really feeling anything. I do find myself happy with anyone, yet I still wouldn't say I am sexually or romantically attracted to them. None of this is platonic either. I know what platonic appreciation is, and to my partner, it is not the same. All of this is very confusing, and I have no idea what to call me anymore. I keep saying bi. Yet it seems to imply that I have a romantic or sexual attraction to them. I also mentioned this to a few people, and they are saying aromantic and asexual. I do feel like that is close, but I still find attraction to people, just not romantic or sexual. I honestly might be overcomplicating things too. What am I? Am I overcomplicating things? You could be romantic, sex-positive ROAs. You still like it, but you don't necessarily want it. Or maybe you are just looking for a queer platonic partner to have in your life. That does sound accurate. I am very interested. In a QP are now after learning about it. Thank you. This definitely pointed me in the right direction. Omegle was weird him and a fab big ender person. But about a year before I realized I was big ender, I went on Omegle just to mess around with people. Those things aren't entirely connected. I just thought I'll give some context for the story. Transphobic people always say stuff like I can always tell when someone is trans but can't seem to tell if someone is cis. As Guardian 16H ago, that's kind of the issue with the trans panic. They start to see phantoms everywhere. GSA Club need advice. I'm a high school teacher, and our school GSA Club has recently elected me to be the new teacher advisor. I'm extremely excited and honored that they chose me. Here's the hitch. My school is in a small rural town and is not the most accepting place in the world. Many students and families actively try to get the GSA Club disbanded, or they bully students into not wanting to openly be a part of the club. There's also the issue of most of the student body believing that if you are in GSA, you must be LGBTQ+. What should I do to make the club more known and welcoming? I really want my students to have a place where they can be themselves and safe. First, call out the bullies. Second, you as students want to feel like we have power in this situation. So make an anonymous tip box or something for you to give tips on how people are treating you or others. Then, announce the bullying on a loudspeaker so everyone can hear how they are being treated. You can say your name on the note or not. Finally, welcome everyone in with open arms. Hope this can help. High schooler here. Congratulations on becoming such an important rule in your school. I'd had a GSA club at my middle school, but after much bullying, vandalism of posters, and parent pushback, the school unfortunately shut it down instead of helping. Also, much like you, my school is in a small rural town. I understand you want members of the club to feel welcomed and safe without pushback of parents nor bullies.